What you see right here is a full-fledged monitor, large, high resolution, high refresh rate that is fully portable. Bringing this thing around in a suitcase is actually doable, and it's a key part of a portable desktop setup with a mini ITX PC, or even part of a laptop work setup where you need more than one screen. Let's give it a look. So this is actually from a brand which, if you're familiar with my channel, you've definitely seen before, UPerfect. And it is their Umax 23.8 inches, so basically 24-inch 1440p high refresh rate monitor. They have models that go all the way up to 180 Hz, like the one I have right here, with integrated speakers. Basically a full monitor, and this one also has an integrated stand, which is what is holding it standing up at the moment. Now inside the packaging, you do find the usual, so 2 USB-C cable, one for data, one for power, and then an HDMI cable, plus a USB-C power adapter, because you can actually power this monitor directly from your PC or from your laptop. You can actually use a single cable too, depending on which device you're using it with. You can also use it like I am using it here today, so by plugging it to the wall and then connecting it via HDMI to your PC. They also include a series of angular adapters, which may seem like something not needed, but as someone who has had 4 mini monitors from UPerfect, these are a game changer. They are very handy because if you are moving these around a lot, you will find yourself stretching the cables and they would get damaged over time, but by having a nice angular adapter, you can actually prevent that and have a better looking setup if you're running around in hotels and stuff. Another cool thing is you do get this. This is a little bag where you can put your monitor in and all your cables, and it is as large as the monitor. Now I want to cover 2 different aspects of this, actually 3, because I also want to cover how good the integrated speakers are. They are really good, and they're all controllable via the buttons on the back. Basically, this thing has a volume button, which you can also use to navigate the HUD, and the power button on the back. Pretty simple, and it also has a jack out, so it can also act as your audio adapter. The other 2 things I want to cover are how good is this for gaming, and how good is this in terms of image quality for productivity. So let's start from the second, because it's actually easier, and I can tell you this thing is really good. It's actually more than what I need to run this YouTube channel, because, well, I'm not a graphic designer myself, but it's as good to work on as the Asus monitor I use in my home usually. So if I am on the go and I have a mini ITX build with me, this thing is a perfect replacement. For gaming, this thing is actually even better than I was expecting. So it has an IPS panel at 140 Hz, so high refresh rate IPS. Response time is very good, and it feels very smooth. I tried it on Apex and Warzone, the 2 main games I'm playing as usual, which are pretty competitive titles, so I'm not really looking at the image quality here, I'm just trying to get a feel for the monitor. So I was exceeding the FPS by quite a bit, even though this is heavy. To achieve 300 FPS on a 1440p panel, you need a 5080, whereas for the nice 180 Hz or 144 Hz at which you may want to lock your games, well, you just need probably a 5070 or even less. Actually, we saw recently that you can put together a PC for $400, which can run a monitor like this, actually. That's a good thing about being in 2025. But it goes to show just how good the panel is for gaming. This thing actually is so good that you could also run it as your main monitor at home, and just whenever you travel, if you have, for example, a mini ITX PC, a smaller keyboard, and a simple mouse, you can pack everything into a simple suitcase and even go on a plane with it with absolutely no problem. So you could be moving quickly with your full gaming setup and literally travel with it with no issues at all. And also save space on your desk, which is a big issue if you're traveling and you don't know exactly on which table you're going to be working on. Again, this is also great if you simply have a laptop and you want a bigger screen, because the mini monitors I reviewed previously, they were a lot smaller, so they were perfect as an extra monitor, or they were very good to add to a laptop, but they were not large enough to work comfortably. Especially if you're going with a high resolution, it's not very realistic to get a 16-inch or 17-inch 1440p panel. You will end up with your image being very small. You can still work on it, but I find myself better off with a laptop if that's the size I have to work with. Whereas at 23.8, basically 24 inches, I find for 1440p this is a great size. Usually monitors are 27-inch 1440p desktop monitors, so this is great, and it will allow you to step up your laptop game without having a 24-inch laptop, which literally doesn't exist. Now, what's the price? It's a very important thing, since here at Automotive PCs we care a lot about the price. Previously, when I reviewed UPerfect stuff, I mainly was recommending them because of the price, and they have some very cheap stuff. Their cheapest monitors, 1080p, they start at basically under $100, but this thing has a list price of $419. However, wait, that's too much, okay? It's actually decent price, but pretty high. Like, it's niche product, so I can see why their price is so high. But the thing is, UPerfect is always making discounts. Except for maybe launch, they're always on discount. So since I made quite a few videos for them, I got their affiliate code. So if you guys want to buy from the website directly, use my affiliate code and my discount code, and you're gonna be able to get this monitor with the various discounts which they offer, which maybe use my code as well. Probably in the end, for $350 or low $300, you can get it. And at that price, I can definitely recommend it, because yes, monitors nowadays are getting cheaper. You can buy a 1440p regular monitor with a very good panel, 27-inch, for probably under $200, but this thing is this thick, and it has so much tech packed inside, so I can see why it's a bit more expensive. It's like a mini ITX gaming PC. If you do need it, I think it's worth it. And it's also on Amazon, to which I will leave a link also, and there it's a bit more expensive, of course, but you buy it from Amazon, which some of you may prefer. With that said, I want to hear also if you guys had a mini monitor before. Are you still using it? Did you find it was not very convenient in the end? And if so, what did you replace it with? And also, if you've had a positive experience with one of those, drop a comment, let me know, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.